All right, y'all, we're gonna play in the dirt today. So we got them. All them is mulberry, and I'm gonna show y'all how I quickly. I got another cutting video to show y'all how you get. Well, another it's coming because my cutters ain't came yet. But I'm gonna show you how you get to this point. But I'm gonna show you how I take all of these because I don't even know how many's in here. It's quite a few, and I am going to pot them up. So where we at is up under here where I make my compost at, and this is pretty much the last of the compost I got. I got some worm castings. I got a little bit of compost in another container, and then I had some of this. I reused some old compost that I had in some containers that nothing was growing in. I always reuse my dirt. I don't throw none of it away. I'm gonna work on top of this tarp because I don't really like losing much of my dirt. I know it's leaves on here, but when you can lift the tarp and you're not losing your dirt on the ground or whatever. So I hadn't watered these. When you do this, you don't want this to be too dry, but you don't want it to be too wet either. If it's too wet, it's harder to get out of the container. So I'm just gonna hit on the side. I'm just gonna grab roughly most of them. See how it slides right out. And this is a plastic container, but it's kind of it's got some give to it. So there, now we got one big old block. Now, how are we gonna separate this? So what I do is I usually come in here and, well, I'm gonna have to loosen this because you can see how many roots is in here. So I'm gonna have to loosen this, loosen the root ball. I feel like I'm gonna have to loosen it quite a bit. But I just go in here and see. Well, I thought this didn't take. It did take. I was gonna say here's a cutting that didn't take, but that one did take, actually. But once you get the root ball loosened, you can tease that out of there like that. So next what I'm gonna do is that I don't have all my supplies. Let me go get my supplies. Kenny, you weren't in the video, was you? Kenny, if you was in the video, I'm editing you out. All right, y'all. So I just got some El Cheapo cups here. When I'm doing little stuff like this that I know I'm gonna sell, I go to Dollar Tree. I just get a stack of cups. You get the smaller ones that are the little, they're you either use them like shot glasses or they're like the little mouthwash cup or whatever. But I kind of like this size a little better when you're dealing with some. See how big the root system is? So therefore, when you put this down in here, it's big enough to hold the root system. If your plants were smaller, you could use a smaller cup. Then I get my little cutters like this, and I usually cut 2 holes. I just cut that off, and I cut that off. You cut more or less holes, doesn't really matter. Take this, and you see how when it's dry, you don't have to be when it's drier, you don't have to be as gentle with it. Put that down in there like that. And I know some people are gonna say, well, why you didn't put none on the bottom first? Because a lot of that is root mass. When you water it, it'll go down. Also keep in mind, these are mulberries, so they are very forgiving. Mulberries and figs are very forgiving. It's honestly kind of hard to kill them, but that's how I do that one. It doesn't hurt to put a little dirt in the bottom of the cup. You want to make sure you cut some drainage holes in this. This one I'm going to put a little dirt in it. Sometimes it depends on the root ball, how much dirt I put in the bottom. Let's try to find one with maybe a smaller root ball. See how this doesn't have many roots? See, it behooves me to put dirt in the bottom of that one. And I shake it to help settle it, but the water's going to finish settling it. I do press down. I try to put the soil level back where it was on the plant. Once again, these are mulberries. They're not very picky plants. They're pretty tough, hardy plants. It's not something that, oh, if I'm not super gentle, am I going to kill it? It's not like that. See, here's a cutting here that didn't make it. Get rid of that. You have two here stuck together. Just pull them apart. Don't even worry about it. It's got quite a bit of roots on it. I'm gonna be honest, just squish the roots down in there. That's why I say I like it a little bit more when it's drier. You can actually be a little tougher with the roots. They're not as fragile when they're a little drier. Because right after you're gonna water this anyway. So let me make sure this is dead. Yeah, it's completely dead. This one I'm gonna put in a little cup. I might keep that one for myself. I really don't like selling little bitty stuff like that. It's not a bad thing, but I prefer to sell something a little bit more. A little bit better success rate, I guess you could say, because that might actually, because it looks like it was a really weak cutting to begin with, that might actually die. So if it dies, I would rather keep it than to sell it to somebody who may or may not be more or less experienced than me, and then it dies on them. So I'm actually kind of selective about, if it dies on me, it's not that big of a deal. I'm going to probably keep 3 or 4 of these, and maybe if they end up growing, and let's see, try to, so you can kind of tease that apart. But see, all of these are really good mulberry specimens here. I'm going to go get this little cup. Actually, I have a little pot here I can show you. Okay, so here's a little pot. I'm going to put a little dirt in that one. And this, no, this one. Actually, let me put this one in here. And put that one in the little cup like I said. And it doesn't matter that that's off to the side. It does not matter whatsoever. So we got that one. So I have these little cups. These are another way you can cut your holes in this is to cut them like that. The water's still going to drain out. Now when I do this one, because it's so little, I'm going to fill this all the way up. I'm going to poke a hole in the middle. I'm going to put the roots down in. And then I'm going to press that in firm like that. That one's done. So you can see how once you have everything together, this process is not hard. See how much root ball this has? So this is a prime example why you don't want to fill this cup too much with too much soil. And like I said, you can see why I like working on a tarp, because see all this dirt that I'm dropping, I'm not losing it on the ground, and I don't have to be so precise about, oh no, my dirt. It doesn't matter. It's on the tarp. I can scrape it all back over into the pile. No big deal. Did I cut holes in this? Not one. And so when you mess up and you forget to cut your holes, you still can go back and cut your holes. Kenny, where are you going? Kenny's right outside the camera. I don't know if you guys can see him or not. But yeah, at first I thought I was gonna do this and maybe speed it up, but this is actually going a lot faster than I thought it would. See how I can do that? I can put that in there, shake everything off, pack it down, set it to the side. And all my dirt's still here. Did I put holes in this one? So y'all see? 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 Make sure you put holes in your stuff, or when you water, pay attention, because if you don't have holes in that thing, you will drown your stuff. The roots, they need water, but they need air too. So if they're sitting in there with all that water and just getting soggy, they will rot. So once you get in a routine of cutting holes, don't get out of your little pattern. Because if you get out of your pattern and you forget too many and you ain't got holes, you know. And by the way, these are everbearing dwarf mulberries, if you're wondering exactly what type of mulberry they are. These are the ones that I ate the little mulberry off of, the tiny little mulberry that was very, very delicious. So these are already fruiting. Right now is not the time that mulberries fruit, but Dan Permaculture showed how you basically can just about force them to fruit, especially if it's warm enough where you are. You can prune them, and a lot of times they'll go ahead and push fruit, especially if it's still warm enough and you still have enough season left. Let me show y'all something. Y'all see these roots coming off way up here? I want those under the dirt too. When you're trying to plant something, you want to know how to plant it or what depth to plant it to or whatever. Most of the time your main objective is cover the roots. Tomatoes and peppers and even squash you can plant deeper because they're even eggplant. I found that out this year. I planted an eggplant deeper than I would have thought. You know what I found out? Brassicas will do it too under the right circumstances. If the stem gets buried a little, it will put roots out on the stem. But when it comes to trees, I don't like to play with that too much. Some trees will do it, like figs. They will readily, when a limb touches the ground, a fig will readily root on the ground. If you've never seen that before, go find a fig in somebody's yard that they really don't take care of. You'll notice that, and when I say take care of, like they don't do a bunch of pruning and all that. You'll see limbs growing near the ground, and when they touch the ground, they'll root. They'll kind of naturally do an air layer, if you will. So yeah, figs will do that, but I don't play with trees too much like that, because you bury a tree too deep in the trunk of it or stem of it starts to rot. You will just about 100% kill your tree. And I don't really play like oh, I'm gonna play around and see what happens too much with trees, because it depends on the trees. Little stuff like this I'll play with, because all these cuttings, and these aren't all of them, I paid $20 for, so it's not that expensive of a mistake. But when you're talking about trees that potentially you paid $20 and up, I don't really recommend playing with them too much. like playing with to the level where there's a potential for you to kill them. I mean, if you got that kind of money that you want to, play with and blow and kill stuff, hey, more power to you. That's not really my thing. So there you have it. These mulberries, as well as calamondins, as well as pomegranates. What else? Do I have anything else that I'm selling? Those are the plants that I'm selling right now. I do not want to baby them through the winter, whatever. So that's what I have for sale right now. Mulberries. These are dwarf, everbearing mulberries. pomegranates. Those are Palm Wonderful pomegranates. And if you go way back, you'll see me when I started those from seeds from like 3 Palm Wonderful pomegranates. And then I also have calamondins. And if you didn't know, seeds from calamondins are polyembryonic, which means they have more than one embryo or one baby in each seed. So when they germinated, whereas I may have planted 4 or 5 seeds, 15 plants came up. Well, I don't need, because right now I think I don't know how many calamondins I have. I haven't counted them, but I have too many. I don't need more than 2 calamondins. So yeah, as I was telling y'all, make sure you stay tuned. This the video. If you want dwarf everbearing mulberry, Palm Wonderful pomegranate, and or calamondins, let me know. Now let me tell you this. When you email me, you know what? When I edit this video, I'll put the price on the screen or whatever, but I'm going to tell you like this. You do better if you buy more than 1 plant from me, because I can get it all in one box. The way I'm going to ship this stuff, I'm going to get it all in one box. So if you're trying to, separate them up, you do better getting more than one plant from me. You see the plant stock that you know what I'm saying, that you're getting. So these are healthy plants. They're probably about to go into dormancy. So you see those little spots like that. They're probably about to go into dormancy. But they will come out of dormancy after the spring. If you live in a hot enough climate, they may not drop their leaves. But mulberries for me here always drop their leaves and come back in the spring. In the early spring, they're one of the first trees to leaf out. So yeah, if you want mulberry, Palm Wonderful pomegranate, and what did I say? Calamondins. If you want those, let me know. And I'll do what I can. The prices aren't going to be ridiculous, but keep in mind I have to ship these, and shipping prices are high. The prices of everything has just gone up, so it is what it is. But hope that shows y'all a little something. I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna water them in. I'm not gonna show watering them in. If y'all don't know how to water plants, I'm sure there's a YouTube video, because they got YouTube videos about how to peel oranges. So when they got YouTube, I didn't know YouTube was that remedial that they had videos showing you how to do that stuff. But anyway, you may want to go on YouTube if you want to know how to water in plants. But I would assume people watching my channel, they probably know how to water in plants. And y'all can see Felix is doing his cameo thing. Kenny's laying over there guarding me, making sure that no one walks up. Kenny, come here, baby. Come here. The people want to see you. Kenny looked at me and looked off. Anyway, till next time, guys. I'll see you later.